Hi, it's Julie Thompson reporting from IAB's Mix Conference, Day 2, New York Advertising Week 2011. I'm here with Bob Kerrigan, the CEO of IDG, as well as the chairman of IAB. Lots of initials there.
That's for sure. Thank you.
Thanks so much for spending time with us. You really made news this morning, I think, with your message from the stage, so I'd love for you to tell our viewers about that.
Great. Well, my message was about the optimism in the ad-driven online business in contrast to the broader economy. You know, if you look at what's going on in Washington and on Wall Street, there's lots of pessimism. We're seeing contracting growth rates. And that's like a parallel universe to what's happening in our business, right? Where you've got 23% revenue growth, you've got lots of job openings. You know, this is an industry looking for good people. And my essential message was, you know, what are we doing right in this industry? And I understand that the complexity of the U.S. government makes for an unfair comparison to our industry. But there were 4 things that I basically outlined that perhaps the U.S. government should pay attention to with regard to our industry.
Well, I want to send you straight to Washington to testify in front of Congress or something, but tell us about the 4 things.
Right. Well, the first thing was, you know, the idea of co-opetition. I mean, our industry comes together around alliances like the Code of Conduct, and you know, you see lots of partnerships of companies. Just last week I think it was Microsoft, AOL, and Yahoo coming together, and they compete at the same time. So, you know, I paralleled that to the Republican versus Democrat, fights and the political infighting that's going on, and the stuff that's just not getting done because everybody is digging in, taking sides. So that was one point. Another point was around infrastructure investment. You know, this is an industry, the interactive industry, that takes capital and it invests in infrastructure. And, you know, we're wrangling right now in the broader economy over investments in transportation and other infrastructure needs, and made that contrast. I also talked about just the overall attitude of thinking about innovation and getting rid of legacy systems and legacy ways of doing business. And there are lots of legacy systems around, whether it's healthcare or the post office. And again, I'm simplifying a bit, but these are hugely complex problems. And then the final thing I just talked about was the attitude of the people, right? We have a lot of entrepreneurs in our industry, people that are innovation-minded, that have that sense of optimism, don't get in that cycle of negativity. And when you look at what happens when you support this industry, and I did say that the government could actually help educate people and get young people to be more tech savvy and more familiar with the sciences and computing so that they're better prepared for our industry. But I think that, again, it's just this attitude of the people in our industry have that innovation, can-do spirit, and I think that was the central message.
Well, it was fantastic and so well received, so thank you. I'd like that message to spread a lot wider. So tell us about IDG and what you're up to.
Wow. Well, IDG is a big company. We operate in lots of geographies. We're just focused there on the U.S., but we're in over 90 countries. And we just finished a fiscal year, and a very, very strong year. We're very focused on, moving our company into a much more interactive direction. And in the U.S., the vast majority of our revenue is digital, and working to that end outside of the U.S. But so our company is all about innovation, launching new products, not just around our brands that you may know, like PC World and Mac World, et cetera, but we've got lead generation services, marketing services, we have an ad network, we have lots of services that we're building around to make sure that we're staying contemporary with customer needs.
So, and I know you're in 90 countries, you seem to be expanding. It seems like, the world is your oyster as well as the companies in the room. How can you take the lessons from what you're learning at Mix and bring them back to IDG on a daily basis?
Well, first of all, there are a lot of companies here that we partner with, whether it's, LinkedIn and Twitter, et cetera. But, I think it was good to hear this message about storytelling because, we're a company that's a tech media company. And we're very involved with all things related to interactive and digital and technology. And sometimes it's helpful to step back and realize that there's a narrative that's also very important. And I think it's important, and it's ironic because we're in the business of, we have lots of editors who are very good at storytelling. And I thought a lot about how we could be even more effective with dealing with our marketing customers and helping them tell the story to our audience.
And how does storytelling come alive differently from B2B to B2C?
Right. So we have both B2B and B2C properties. About 2/3 of our business is B2B, and it is different. B2B tends to have highly focused professional communities that have a strong bond through common interest. And so you can go very deep with those communities and engage with them in ways it's a bit more challenging with a broader consumer audience, so to speak. But we find very passionate people that not only are intellectually curious about what we're writing about, but it's part of their jobs. So they need to learn and engage and get deep with us. And so in a way, I think storytelling and engaging with those users is, I think it's to the next level with B2B.
And mobile has been a big part of the story here at Mix. And I understand IDG just launched a suite of mobile products. Tell us about those.
Yeah, the suite is Mobile at IDG, and it's a suite of offerings that make it easier for our marketing customers to buy mobile solutions across lots of geographies and lots of properties. And of course, as we know from this event, mobile is the next form of interactivity. It's here now. And particularly with our audience, which again is a more tech-savvy audience, we're seeing lots of users leveraging mobile. And there are interesting ways to engage with them on a local level, the integration with social media, et cetera. And that's the essential idea behind this suite of offerings, that we're leveraging the communities that we've built, taking it to these mobile devices, optimizing the content for those devices, which is very important, and creating programs that that marketers can't seem to get enough of because they want mobile solutions. They want somebody to show them the way, right? So we're experimenting with them, and we're off to a good start.
All right. Well, so we'll end with one last question. Wearing both your hats, both as internet world leader, but also a leader of the IAB as chairman. If there was one headline from the last year, if you could sum up what's gone on in the industry, what would it be? And then what should the headline be for next year?
Well, again, I'll bring it back to my speech, which I think the fact that the interactive industry seems to defy all rational economics. It's clearly where things are moving, right? I mean, you could see it in the vote that users are making with their time, that marketers are making with their dollars. So I think the big story, unfortunately, was the challenges with the broader economy. But, you have this sector of the economy, which is contributing $300 billion directly, $400 billion indirectly to the U.S. economy, thriving. And I think that's a big story. And what I'd like to see going forward is I'd love to see the continued momentum of the interactive space, but I'd love to see the macroeconomy obviously get better because there are 14 million people looking for work right now, and there's only so many jobs we can give them in the interactive industry.
Great. Well, Bob, thank you so much for taking the time, and now we'll go back into the sessions.
It's been my pleasure. Thank you.